So today's video is going to be focused on both the David Dobrik and James Charles drama, and specifically how Ethan Klein has been reacting to all of it, and how Keemstar has been reacting to Ethan's reaction to this and the situation as a whole. It gets pretty spicy, so let's not waste any time and get straight into it. So last week, Scotty Sire uploaded a video defending David Dobrik, but a couple days ago he deleted it and ended up posting this on Twitter. He says, "Hi again. First of all, I would like to apologize to anyone who feels as though I disrespected or invalidated their story. That was never my intention, and I mean that so sincerely. I let emotion get the better of me, and I chose my approach and many of my words poorly. I chose to make the video and share my opinion. I expected it to be analyzed and picked apart, but I did not expect it to hurt so many people, and so I've made the decision to remove the video from my channel." Ethan Klein responds to this by saying, "Apologize to Seth. Scotty, with peace and love, you didn't just choose the wrong words. You ignored that David admitted to the pranks being racially motivated, ignored that the first prank was not consensual. You indirectly threatened the victim, and tried to assassinate his character. Own it, please." He also calls out James Charles when he tweets out, "Does Chipotle know they are sponsoring a known sexual predator?" showing a picture of James Charles and his Chipotle sponsor. He continues by saying, "Yes, to answer your question, I am trying to cancel James Charles. He, of all people, is completely deserving of it after admitting to exchanging nudes with a 16-year-old. This is a pattern of behavior that should land him in prison, not collaborating with Chipotle." Def Noodles also comments on the Chipotle sponsorship when he tweets out, "Totally unexpected. Chipotle out here sponsoring people who allegedly committed sex crimes. Like it comes with free guacamole." Trisha Paytas quote tweets him and says, "Chipotle is trash." Keemstar responds to Def Noodles linking to a tweet where he said, "Stop going after YouTubers' sponsors. I see you, and you will not like the world you are creating by doing this. Everybody can be cancelled, even you." Sip Tea Bitches responds to Keem by saying, "This you?" linking to a tweet where he says the Seth situation is not sexual assault. Keemstar quote tweets her and says, "Yeah, that's me." That was my reaction after hearing Seth requested the kissing prank for a third time. If you put that tweet in context of all my tweets on the situation, you would know that it's been really hard to form an opinion when new information keeps coming out. Keemstar then responds directly to Ethan Klein, calling out James Charles on his Chipotle sponsorship by saying, "I agree James Charles should be cancelled, but how is Ethan Klein going after anyone's sponsors? H3H3 did blackface with racist intent. He said N-word and F-word. He pushed a black man to almost suicide. He used an autistic man for clout and ghosted him, and much more." He then makes a Twitter video titled, "Do not let H3H3 destroy our industry."
We are not going to have an industry left anymore if we keep going after people's sponsors. You know, I called H3H3 out because he's going after James Charles sponsors. Now, let me be clear as day. James Charles should be canceled, all right? But you shouldn't be going after his sponsors. And the reason why you shouldn't go after his sponsors is because that reflects on the entire industry. That makes sponsors not want to work with any YouTuber because we're so goddamn problematic. And I say we're so goddamn problematic because everybody has done stuff to be canceled for, especially H3H3. Myself, literally everyone, okay? Even when YouTubers don't do something wrong, like the whole thing with Ninja not wanting to play with female gamers, right? You know, people blew that up and made it a big thing. You know, imagine if they went after his sponsors and he lost sponsors over that. That is the future. If you continue to support this type of behavior, nobody will have sponsors. Companies will not work with individual YouTube creators, and they'll just work with big industries like, you know, like CNN or the talk shows. They'll work with the corporations, and they won't work with individual creators and streamers. Stop going after the sponsors. I swear to God, if you agree with this whole thing of going after YouTubers' sponsors, I swear to God, like you could be on the other end. Every single person, you the viewer, have done or said something in your past that you could be canceled for. If somebody put a magnifying glass on it, that you might not be hired from a job, or you might not get into a college because you said a certain thing. Like everybody everybody could be affected by this. Stop going after the sponsors. Stop supporting creators that do it. And when creators attack other YouTubers' sponsors, call them out. Don't let this shit slide, or we will all live in a world that nobody wants to live in. Stop it. It's going to kill the entire industry.
Raise our response to Keem's video by saying, only person destroying the industry is people like you who shut down claims from sexual assault victims. I remember you said this Seth situation wasn't true, yet here we are. And don't say it's cause you didn't have enough info, because the H3 interview was up long before. Keemstar quote tweets them and says, Trisha literally admitted on video of physically abusing her fiancé. Pic of his arm bust. So I want you to reach out to every single one of her sponsors and get her cancelled. Keep that same energy or expose yourself for having an agenda. Razor responds, nice pivot, bro. To which Keemstar responds, it's not a pivot, you piece of shit. It's me holding you accountable to your own beliefs that you claim you believe. If you believe in this cancel culture shit, then contact H3H3 and Trisha's sponsors, or stop making a fool of yourself. Keemstar then retweets an old tweet of his, where he shows context to what he's talking about. It says, how did I not know Trisha was abusing her boyfriend? I just found out about this. Yikes. Seems like she admitted to it here. And next tweet, the pic of the damage to his arm.
Really, really personal. It's really damaging to this day in our relationship. It was not public.
Yes, it was.
Moses,
everybody said
it
literally.
It was not public.
What are you guys talking about specifically?
The arm thing.
How did people get photos of it? I didn't put that out.
After you said it on the podcast, that account was like, now that it's out on the podcast, I'm going to post these photos. My boyfriend got catfished by someone, said something about an altercation we had that nobody knew. Ethan brought it up on the podcast. That makes me look like I'm a domestic abuse, like I'm a person that hits my partner. And that was out in the open. And we even said, Moses, like, stop, cut it. We're like, don't put that in the thing. What does he do? He puts it in the fucking thing.
Wait,
it was never fucking public.
Well, maybe you shouldn't hit him.
I agree, but that is something that is so fucking personal that you said, and we're like, please edit it out. It was a fucking weak moment, and our relationship will never get past that, and I even tell him that. Now everyone thinks I'm a fucking, a man beater and shit like that because of you.
Keemstar then shows a picture of Moses' damaged arm. Anyways, moving on from that, Keemstar makes a Twitter video titled, David Dobrik's career would be over if Seth was a female.
By now, everybody knows about this David Dobrik situation. If you don't, go watch. But there's something that people keep saying in the comments and other YouTubers keep saying about this situation. They keep saying David Dobrik would be finished. He'd lose all his sponsors. He might be kicked out of the YouTube partnership program if Seth was a female. If Seth was a female, everything would be different, right? People would take this way more serious and David Dobrik would be canceled. And I think all the people making this point are absolutely insane. I've ran Drama Alert since 2012. I've seen so many different stories in this community. And I can tell you one thing. If Seth was a female and the same thing happened, right? Same scenario. And the internet found, an old interview of, this female saying, hey, I was uncomfortable, but you know what? I was down for it because I was getting clout. And then they found, a private conversation between this female and David saying, hey, I'm down to do it a third time, as long as you clout me up. The internet would cancel that girl. David Dobrik would be labeled as completely innocent and that girl would be canceled. She would be labeled as a clout chaser, as an attention whore, and the story would be done and over with. So I don't know why people keep making this point saying, if Seth was a female, everything would be different. David would be done. No, you're wrong. The exact opposite would happen. I know because there's been so many stories like this, that I've covered throughout the years. So, feminist Keemstar here to tell you that women in this situation get treated way worse than a guy.
Daniel responds to Keem's video by saying, your hate for H3 clouds your vision. Keemstar replies to him by saying, my hate for H3H3 comes from him slandering me, backstabbing multiple friends for clout, using people, using his fans as pawns, feeding them propaganda to mobilize them as his personal army to attack his enemies. My vision is crystal clear. You are the one that is blind. Keem then tweets out, do I need to remind you? This is the guy trying to get YouTube sponsors taken away. Showing a tweet that Ethan Klein made that says, when she says she only dates black guys. Keem then follows up the tweet by saying, read the replies. All these H3H3 fans are deliberately ignoring the point made above, or are too stupid to understand the point being made. Pick one. You are either dishonest or stupid. Keemstar then makes a Twitter video to elaborate on this titled, dishonest or stupid.
Apparently, there's some kind of miscommunication going on here. Ethan Klein, H3H3, has been trying to get YouTubers' sponsors taken away. He started with me, now he's doing it with James Charles. He's done it with others in the past. And I made a post of H3H3 who did blackface in 2014 with racist intent. And, I put the screenshot of that tweet out and I said, may I remind you, this is the guy trying to get YouTubers sponsors taken away. Now, obviously the point there is, look, he shouldn't be trying to go after YouTubers sponsors when he has this history. Now, the response to that from the H3H3 fans are saying, but Keem, you're being a hypocrite. You said the N-word. Why are you just ignoring the point that I'm making? I'm not going after people's sponsors. I'm not trying to get people's sponsors taken away. I'm pointing out that this hypocrite, H3H3, has this horrible history of awful things he's done, and he's trying to get other YouTubers sponsors taken away. All right? He's literally tweeting at the companies like, you do understand. You're just either being dishonest or you're stupid. That's the only option you have. If you're responding to that tweet saying, but Keem, you said the N-word, you called Alex the N-word, 12 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Like, dishonest or stupid. Pick one. Because my point is crystal clear and everybody gets it. So if you're one of those people saying that, like dishonest or stupid, are you purposely ignoring the point and you're a liar? Or are you stupid and you don't get the point? Which one is it? You only have two options here.
And that's about it for the drama so far. Pretty interesting stuff. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this in the comment section below. And as always, if this continues, I will keep you up to date on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe with notifications on if you don't want to miss that. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel. In particular, Scrubby, who decided to donate $100 a month. That is absolutely insane. Thank you so much, dude. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.